It's Sunday, which means time for another weekly reading vlog. I started off the morning by finishing Amari and the Night Brothers, which I started in my last weekly reading vlog. This was such a good book. This is like the perfect middle grade. I would recommend checking it out if you're into sort of fantasy, adventure. It was really fun. It was magical. I don't usually read middle grade, but this was recommended by so many people. So I thought I'd give it a go. I'm really glad that I did. And because of reading that, when I went out yesterday, I picked up a couple of more middle grades. So I've got Nevermore, the Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend, because I've heard people talking about this, especially Gav, who is like the reigning king of middle grade. And I also got the first book in the Strange Worlds Travel Agency series by L.D. Lipinski. Again, another one I've heard great things about, and they both have really cute covers. So that is how I'm starting off this week. If you watched my last reading vlog, then you'll know that I was trying to fit Harrow into this small amount of time before September starts. So it's currently Sunday, September starts on Wednesday. So I've got 3 days to read Harrow, which I think could be quite tight, but I'm not working, so I will try and find the time to squeeze this one in before September starts with the bookoplathon by Becca and the Books, and also the magical readathon by Book Roast. I think I can do it. I just need to power on with this one. It's just over 500 pages, so yeah, that should easily be doable in 3 days. I don't know why I'm stressing about that. Because I'm doing both bookoplathon and magical readathon, I do have quite a long TBR for September. There are 17 books on it, including, I think, one audiobook. I think it's only The Song of Achilles that's an audiobook. I do have a physical copy of it somewhere. My sister has one, I think. So I have put 6 of them in my little book cart. So these are the 6 that I want to get to first. I plan to start with Like a Love Song because it's really short. It should be a really easy read, although I am very tempted by How We Fall Apart because I've been waiting ages to read this. It's also pretty short. It's not even 300 pages. I'm going to start with this one, follow it with Like a Love Song. So then hopefully I could even finish both of those on Wednesday and have a good start to the month, because I do have a lot of chunky books on this readathon. Yeah, I think there's at least 3 or 4 that are over 500 pages, so there's going to be a lot of reading to get done, but I have a lot of time off, so I'm quite confident. I'm going to try and keep this video a bit shorter than my last one. It ended up a lot longer than I expected it to be. At one point it was, I think, nearly an hour long. I did manage to get it down to 48 minutes or so, 45 I think. So I know that's long, especially when I don't have very many people watching these. That's probably going to turn you off. But I quite like sharing what I'm getting up to during the week and what I'm reading. This morning I went to the milk stop to get some milkshake. It's this awesome milk vending machine near where I live that does normal milk and all sorts of flavoured milks and different milkshakes every day. It's ridiculously exciting. That's probably shows what a sad little life I lead, but it's so cool and it's so tasty. just went to Starbucks to get some uninterrupted reading time, because it's not always the best place to read at home when there's everyone around. And I've managed to get to page 118. I'm still completely befuddled by this book and this series in general. And there aren't chapter summaries that I can find for Harrow, so I can't sort of go back and make sure I've got the right end of the stick. So far it seems like there's two timelines going on, one of which is in the second person, which really threw me. And that is also about Harrow. And then there's the other timeline, which is third person Harrow. So it is all about Harrow. But one is second person and seems to be sort of present day-ish, although I've got no clue what's going on. And the other one is third person Harrow, but it seems to be rewriting what happened in book one. They're back at the house of Canaan, I think it is. But it's not Gideon there anymore. It's the guy who died. So I'm so confused. I like it, but I'm so confused. Almost a quarter of the way in, which is crazy considering how baffling it is. But I've heard people say that after the first half it sort of gets easier to understand, or things start to make sense. And yeah, I'm along for the ride. I'm loving it, even if it blows my mind and I don't know which way's up or down. Yeah, it's a strange one. She's one of those authors where I kind of want to look inside her brain and peel apart the layers and figure out what's going on, because her writing is ridiculous, and not in a bad way. It just is. It's crazy. She uses words I've never heard before. I thought I had quite a good vocabulary, and then like every 5 pages a word crops up that I've never come across, and I wish I was reading with sticky tabs so I could go back and check what they actually mean. I tend to just take context clues and figure it out. But yeah, I don't know what's going on in her head. I don't know where she gets these ideas from. Mad. I wanted to finish every book that I've got ongoing before September starts, and I thought that just meant finishing Harrow, which is already going to be enough of a challenge because it's so big. And then I remembered that I am 16% of the way through my e-arc of If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich, is it? I can't remember. I checked. Yes, it is Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. It's a boy band romance. I'm not far into it. It took me ages to get to 16%. I started it like 2 months ago, I think. Just because I haven't really been into ebooks at the moment. It's one of those that I've only sort of picked up during lunch breaks, usually when there are other people around, so I haven't had much time to actually read. And I am enjoying it. I like how it's written. I like that it's queer, obviously. But yeah, I forgot about that one. So that is going to make the next couple of days a lot busier, reading-wise, because I've got 400 pages of Harrow and 84% of If This Gets Out, however much that is. I don't know how many pages it is, but it feels like it should be a long book. Not because of the genre should be short, but it's taking me so long to get through it. It must be 400. I just checked, it is 416 pages, which is really long for a like YA romance. Like that seems unnecessarily long. I mean, I can't talk. I write really long books, but they're not published. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be worth the length in the end. Almost a quarter of the way in, which is crazy considering how baffling it is. But I've heard people say that after the first half it sort of gets easier to understand, or things start to make sense. And yeah, I'm along for the ride. I'm loving it, even if it blows my mind and I don't know which way's up or down. Yeah, it's a strange one. She's one of those authors where I kind of want to look inside her brain and peel apart the layers and figure out what's going on, because her writing is ridiculous, and not in a bad way. It just is. It's crazy. she uses words I've never heard before. I thought I had quite a good vocabulary, and then like every 5 pages a word crops up that I've never come across, and I wish I was reading with sticky tabs so I could go back and check what they actually mean. I tend to just take context clues and figure it out. But yeah, I don't know what's going on in her head. I don't know where she gets these ideas from. Mad. It's Monday evening and I've had such a lazy day. I've barely left the caravan. I definitely haven't left the house. But I am now halfway through Harry the Ninth. I'm on page 255, so like 2 pages over halfway. I'm still confused. Still got no idea what's going on. But every now and then there's a little like tidbit dropped in that piques my interest. I'm like, well, how's that going to come into play? And it's the right kind of confusion where I just desperately want to know what the hell is going on. So I'm hopefully gonna, I need to finish by tomorrow, or by the end of tomorrow, because that's the last day of August. So then I will have finished this before starting fresh with the September TBR. It's Rose Monday reading sprints today, and I'll finally get a chance to take part. Usually I've just got home from work by 7 o'clock on a Monday and it's supper and family time, but I'm off this week, so I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm going to do those reading sprints and try to get a bit more of Harrow read. It's a slow read just because it's so confusing. But yeah, I'd like to get at least another 100 pages done. So I currently have about 250 to go, and I don't really want to have to read a whole 250 pages tomorrow, so try and whack it down a bit tonight. I'm going to go and take the dog for a walk just to leave the house before I settle in for Rose reading sprints. Otherwise I'm gonna hate myself by the end of the day. Spooky forest vibes. I always feel like I'm either going to find a body or get murdered when I walk here. Tuesday, which means it's the last day of August and the last day to finish what I'm reading before all the September readathons start, and I managed to finish Harrow last night. I joined Rose Monday reading sprints at 7, and when we finished at 11:30 I still had 110 pages to go. Maybe less than that actually, probably less than that, and I decided to keep going because I couldn't leave it on that. It's a 507 page book and I was fully confused for the first 380 pages. That is a long time to not have a clue what's going on. But then it all started to come together as everyone told me it would, and I don't even know how to think. My brain was completely scrambled by Harrow, and unlike Gideon, there aren't any chapter summaries online, so I couldn't even go back to make sure I hadn't missed anything. I did get sucked into the 9th House Reddit, which is huge. There is a massive fan club for this series. I think I have an idea of how the end went down. I think I know what went on. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when the next book comes out, turns out everything I thought I knew was wrong. Although the next book is Nona the 9th, and the only reference to Nona that we've had so far is that Harrow is the 87th Nona. So I have a feeling this 3rd book, which comes out next autumn, is going to be a prequel. I think we might go back 10,000 years, because the ending of Harrow seemed like normal civilization, like not at all like the necromancy planets that, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm also reading If This Gets Out on Kindle, so that's a NetGalley copy by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. I started this a couple of months ago and just didn't really get into it, but I am up to 50% now, and I need to finish it by the end of today so that I'm starting a fresh slate on tomorrow. It's alright so far. It's about a boy band and 2 of the boys fall in love and they start a relationship. Nothing is wowing me so far, but I like the boy band aspect. I've seen a lot of people wowing about it on Goodreads though, so I'm hoping it's gonna get better, or I'm gonna start enjoying it more. Not that I'm not enjoying it, it's just, it feels quite typical. It kind of reminds me of I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman, but I think that's just the sort of YA band thing. Out this morning to the milk stop again, because they've got caramelised banana milkshakes, and I also went to some charity shops, and one of them, the Oxfam bookshop, had an amazing sci-fi fantasy section, so I did pick up 3 books, and these are just books that I've heard a lot about sort of on book Twitter and Bookstagram and BookTube. So I got The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch. I don't know much about this, but it's one that I've heard about. I've almost picked it up before, so you know, it's £2 in a charity shop. I'm not going to say no to that. The next one is A Darker Shade of Magic. Somehow I still haven't got around to this series. I keep meaning to. I think I might have started it on Kindle maybe, but I have to be in a very specific mood to read Kindle. So yeah, pick that up at last. I'm hoping I'll enjoy it. The only Schwab book I've read is Addie LaRue, and I did love that, but this is a very different vibe. And then the 3rd one I got was Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. Now this is a hardcover novella, although it's not very short. It's 200 and something pages, 260. I haven't actually read any of the series that this is related to, but it says that it's a self-contained novella. The only Brandon Sanderson I've read is Skyward. Absolutely loved that. I haven't read the sequel yet, although I've had it on my shelf for like a year. But yeah, I thought, why not? I don't know if it will be spoilery. It says it's self-contained, so I'd have thought that I can read it on its own, and it would be a good introduction to this side of Brandon Sanderson, because, I mean, it's a small book, big font, yeah. So this is my mini haul for today, and I'm hoping that maybe on Thursday I can go to Queer Lit in Manchester, which is a new bookshop for all queer fiction and non-fiction. It sounds amazing, it looks amazing. I've had a look on their website and they've got so many young adult titles, which is very exciting. So I'm hoping I'll be able to go, although I don't really want to take a train and all the parking around there looks really sketchy, so I'm not sure. Also got my Illumicrate August box this morning. I wasted no time and filmed my unboxing, and that's already up. So if you haven't watched that and you want to see what's inside the August box, heading over there now. I enjoyed this box. It's fandom neutral, which they rarely do, which is quite nice because I'm not in most fandoms, especially for YA fantasy. So I did like that. There was one strange item I wasn't fully sure about, but the book looks great. I've already put it on my September TBR. I've switched it out for one that was on there. And yeah, good day so far. I do want to try and get some writing done today as well and throughout September. I used to write like 3 books a year, and I've barely written for the last year, until July when it was NaNoWriMo, and I decided to start writing offline because usually I write and immediately post each chapter to Wattpad, where I have the same username as here. And I'm trying to write offline and finish the book completely before posting. So far it's working really well. I've written 85,000 words of my current project. I think it's going to be a long book. Yeah, things are starting to come together. It's a sort of light sci-fi romance with time travel. Kind of like One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. And yeah, I'd love to finish it. I managed like 75 or 70,000 words in July. So if I can try and get maybe another 40 done during September, it might actually be done. It's very cold outside. Summer has definitely finished. I've just finished reading If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and K.L. Dietrich, which I was reading on my Kindle. She's trying to eat some fudge. It was okay. It was a 3.5. It didn't feel that groundbreaking to me. There were some moments that I enjoyed, like when they were standing up to their record company, but yeah, it was fine. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great. It did end up being a quicker read than I thought it was going to be, based on it being over 400 pages. So I don't know how accurate Goodreads is, or if it just was a quick read because it's YA contemporary. It was, yeah, run of the mill, I'm afraid. Obviously I like that it's queer. I'm all about more queer books, as many as possible, fill the shelves with queer books. And it wasn't bad in any way. It just, yeah, it didn't really stand out to me. I have now finished all of the books that I had ongoing, which means I can start September with a fresh slate for bookoplathon and magical readathon. Although because there's like 5 hours left until midnight, I'm really tempted to go and find a short book that I can read in that time, which is a terrible idea because I am going to get my sister from the train station at midnight, which means I'm going to want to start my September reads when I get home, and I've read a lot today and yesterday. Hi guys, it is Wednesday, which means it's the 1st of September, which means it's time to start Magical Readathon and Bookoplathon. I did end up reading 2 more books last night. I had a Kindle romance and a short non-fiction book by George Mahood. The romance was by, I think, Marie Lipscomb. Both were alright. The romance was 3 stars. I find it hard to rate sort of a short erotic romance novella higher than that. And the George Mahood non-fiction, which was called Did Not Finish, was 4 stars. I love all his books. Not Tonight Josephine was the first one that I read. Highly recommend. That was very entertaining. So that brought my August book tally up to 20, which I'm much happier about than 15. I know that's really stupid. I just prefer it. And now I'm reading How We Fall Apart. So this is, I think, my Magical Readathon pick for Dark Academia. I'm 100 pages in, so just over a third of the way. And so far so good. The dialogue is a bit flat. It does have a slightly amateurish feel about it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's dark academia. I mean, yeah, it's set in a school and there's murders and stuff, but I'm intrigued to see where it goes. It's a pretty quick book. I think it is, yeah, it's just under 300 pages. I think it's 295. So I should hopefully finish this soon, and then I can move on to Like a Love Song by Gabriella Martins and have a good start to the readathons. I'd like to get at least 2 books read today. Yeah, maybe I'll start my Kindle one as well as soon as I have my Kindle, although it is about to die. This is a very good place to put stickers, I've found, and of course the book was always better. I don't think there's ever been a film or a TV series I've preferred to the book it's based on. I do have a lot of Kindle books to get through, I don't know if you can see that, but I have 83 pages of books on here. Some of them I have read and just need to move off. Quite a lot on NetGalley. The one that I am reading for Becca's bookoplathon when I landed on my chance card is The Upper World by Femi Fadugba. I don't have the proper cover to show you, seeing as I just have the NetGalley sort of temporary cover. It is out already, I've seen it in Waterstones. But yeah, I'm very behind on most of my NetGalley reads. I know that Pris is doing some sprints on the Bookoplathon Discord channel, so I might hop on over there and see if I can join some of those to try and get this finished. I don't think it'll take too long, it should be less than 2 hours. I've just finished my first book of September, which was How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. This was my Dark Academia pick for Magical Readathon. This was a 5-star prediction. Wasn't a 5-star in the end. I gave this 2 out of 5. This was a major disappointment for me. I thought this was going to be everything I wanted, and it was flat and shallow, and it just didn't feel like a Dark Academia. The mystery was really basic. The characters were completely one-dimensional. Yeah, just not anything like what I thought it was going to be or what the reviews made it sound like it was going to be. So that is unfortunate. But I'm hoping to finish at least 2 books today to have a good start to the month. The next one I'm going to read is Like a Love Song by Gabriella Martins. It's short, it's only 288 pages. And yeah, it seems cute. It's got really good reviews, cute cover, romance, so I'm hoping that'll be good. I have finished doing my August wrap up in my book. I won't be doing a video for it just because most of it I read before I started booktubing, although I have added a new element to my reading journal, which is the colour code. So the bluey green is books that I've DNF'd, purple is queer books, and yellow is 9 or 10 out of 10. So some of them are half and half. Just makes it more fun for me, a little bit of extra stuff to do. And I've added a colour code here. So this is my Magical Readathon and Bookoplathon TBR. So yellow for completed, purple for DNF'd, and green for changed book. So that's if I switch out a book for a different one for a specific prompt after having written them all down. I did switch one book, but it was before I had made this TBR, so that doesn't really count. Like a Love Song is 2 different prompts for this month. So for Magical Readathon, it is on top of my TBR pile. I've had this for a few weeks now, and it's one that I keep wanting to read, but I haven't been able to because I made my September TBR video really early. And it is also the prompt for Debut, which was what I rolled on Bookoplathon. I think it's going to be quite a quick read. It looks like, you know, the margins are quite big, the font's a decent size, and I think there's quite a few chapters. Well, there's at least 30 chapters, I think. So I would love to be able to finish that today and start and maybe finish another one. been reading for an hour, and somehow I'm already 150 pages into this. It's a really quick read, so I should be done in another hour. I'm just about exactly halfway. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's really cute. This is like the perfect YA romance. I love the fake dating trope. I love how it's done in this, with the whole Hollywood organising it. I'm having a great time with this. It's a lot better than the first book I read for Magical Readathon. And it's so cute. Look at the cover. I love these colours. And I love William, who is the awkward, nerdy, dorky, fake British boyfriend. Obviously, it does annoy me, the whole like British accent thing, considering Britain is 4 countries. But that's... just gotta let that slide. My hair is not looking good at the moment, so I'm gonna go blue-black. I was thinking of just doing dark brown or black, but then I saw this and I thought, that looks fun. The lighting isn't great in here at the best of times, let alone when it's sort of going dark outside, but I'm very happy with this. It does look a lot bluer in person. This does look completely black, but so much better than that brassy faded red I had before. Really digging this dark hair. This looks nice. I'm happy with it. It's 8 PM on Wednesday and I've just finished book number 2 for September. This was the top of my TBR pile prompt for Magical Readathon, and it was debut for Becca's bookoplathon. And this was so much better than I expected it to be. It's such a cute little cover, and I didn't actually realise it was YA at first. I thought this was adult romance, so I was slightly apprehensive, but it turned out so good. I love the fame trope. I just thought it was really sweet, it was really well written, and the characters were really adorable, and it was such a quick read as well, so I always appreciate a quick read. This is about Natalie, who is a pop star, very famous, and as she's about to win an award, like I don't really know what kind of award it is, one of the big pop ones, her boyfriend breaks up with her and tells her that he's seeing someone else. So her moment is ruined and she goes viral for her reaction to being broken up with on live TV. And as a way to control the press, her management team suggests that she get a fake boyfriend. The boy that she's set up with to be her fake boyfriend is the adorable William, who is the cinnamon roll bisexual. Absolutely loved him. He's really sweet, and he's English. And yeah, this was just really heartwarming and the perfect YA contemporary romance, especially if you like the fame trope and the there's only one bed trope. I think for my next read I'm going to do The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino. This is for the school setting prompt in Magical Readathon, and it came in the Illumicrate August box. It sounds really good. It's not very long, it's like 380 pages, and there's quite a lot of chapters, so I'm hoping they're going to be quite short chapters. I have so much on my TBR, and I don't fully know what I'm in the mood for next, but yeah, I'm going to go for this one. I have a bad track record with reading Illumicrate books on time. So many from the past 2 years that I still haven't got around to. But I do have 3 Illumicrate books on my TBR this month. So we've got The Devil Makes Three, She Who Became the Sun, and Once and Future Witches. So hopefully I'll make a bit of a dent in all my Illumicrate books. It is Thursday afternoon and I'm currently reading The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino. I'm on page 192, so I'm about halfway through. I'm enjoying it so far. It's giving me Ninth House vibes by LiQWYD, which I'm quite happy with. I really enjoyed that book. It's quite a slow start so far to be halfway through. because not a ton has happened. But there is intrigue. I like the atmosphere. The atmosphere is really well written. It's very dark, definitely dark academia with the library setting. And I like Tess and Elliot, who are the two main characters. So we have both their perspectives, although it's third person. I also just had 2 books arrive that I forgot I pre-ordered, which are Tigers by Emmy Bennett, which is I think the 4th book. Yeah, it's the 4th book in the series, and Dark and Shallow Lies by Ginny Myers Sane, which is one that I've heard nothing about, but it sounds good, and so I'm really tempted to start reading Tigers. It's short, it's only 270 pages, and I've loved the series so far. I've never been disappointed by an Emmy Bennett book. She's easily an auto-buy author for me. So I think I need to roll for Bookopoly again, maybe, to see if I can get it on my TBR, because I don't want to stray from the TBR, especially on day 2, but I really want to read it, and it's so short and it would be such a quick read. So I'll see if I can wrangle it on there somehow. I've decided to roll another dice for Becca's Bookoplathon to see if I can land on something that will allow me to put Tigers on my TBR. So last time I rolled, I was on Gods, which is down here at the bottom. So let's add a dice and see what we get. 2 and 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who? So I landed on Who, which, after checking the rules, is for a book that you haven't heard many people talking about or have heard no one talking about. I think that I can use Tigers for this because I've literally not seen a single person talk about it. To be honest, I've not really seen anyone talk about the Stag series in general, which is surprising because for me it's a phenomenal series. It's weirdly low rated on Goodreads. It has like 3.3 or something, or 3.4, which usually would make me avoid a book, but I read it before I had any idea about the ratings. So yeah, I think the fact that nobody has talked about this series or book, even though I have already read the first 3, I think that means I can use it for Who. I'm still halfway through The Devil Makes 3, but now that Tigers has arrived and I'm too tempted, I'm going to start this now. Hopefully, I might be able to finish both of them today. We'll see. I am already, I've already had a good start with the month. I've already finished 2 books and it's only the 2nd, so. I've just finished Tigers, which is book 4 in the Stag series. The first 3 books were easy 5 stars for me. This one didn't hit the mark. It feels like a complete departure from the rest of the series, and also it's set in India and there's a lot of discussion about race, and it didn't feel right coming from a white author. She says she did a lot of research in her notes at the end, but it came off like a very white-centric, almost like colonialist view. There was a lot of shitting on India, which made me really uncomfortable to read about from someone who is not Indian. So I think this is going to be a 2.5. I think the next book should pick up again because we're going back to the setting that we know and back to the whole sort of main Stags mystery. Most of the book was the diary of the protagonist's boyfriend's dad from 1969, and it just wasn't as interesting. I didn't care as much because it's not the characters that we know, it's not the mystery that we've been following, and I'm really disappointed because I thought this was for definite going to be a 5-star because the other 3 were. But this does fulfill my very late edition bookoplathon prompt for Who, because nobody's talking about this book. I couldn't even find it on Goodreads for ages, and then I found it and it has no reviews, no description, and 1 rating. So yeah, definitely an under the radar book, but not a good one, not a great one. This also fulfills one of my personal prompts that I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble fulfilling, which is an author you've met, because I met Emmy Bennett at Yalkin 2019 and she was lovely. I had a great time talking to her. Just a shame that book 4 isn't really up to standard. I am really disappointed. I had high hopes for this one, I really did, but they've been dashed. I went to Manchester today and I finally went to Queer Lit, which is the new bookshop there, which specialises in all queer fiction and non-fiction. That was very exciting. I did get 6 books there and I will be doing a haul. I also went to Waterstones and got another 2 books there. So a very bookish day today, 8 books total, and I haven't done much reading. I'm getting a bit further with The Devil Makes 3. Enjoying this. I like the atmosphere. It's very slow though, because I'm about 250 pages in out of about 380. It's starting to pick up now. It's getting interesting. It's quite hard. I've got a mini ring light on my phone, but they're not compatible with glasses. Unless I'm at a very specific angle. So yeah, I'm going to film a haul of the 8 books that I got today, some of which are going to be great for October. They're spooky, sort of eerie, paranormally, ghosty sort of books. So that's very exciting. I'm in the middle of tidying, so my room is a bit chaotic at the moment, but I have a few pretty shelves. I'm proud of these ones. Saturday morning, well, afternoon actually. Oh gosh, it's 4 o'clock. Okay. Which means it's the last day of filming for my weekly vlog, and I haven't read much the past couple of days. Yesterday I went to Manchester and bought a bunch of books, which I will be posting a book haul of on Tuesday, and today I've been tidying my room, which is a mammoth affair. I really struggle with keeping tidy and having time and energy to clean, so this is it's taken 2 days so far. It's going to take a bit longer, but I'm hoping that today I can finish The Devil Makes 3 before my next weekly reading vlog starts. I did finish The Song of Achilles on audio yesterday. That was a reread, so I won't be re-rating it. I think it was a 4.5 last time. I'll keep it at that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't fully understand all of it, and I think that's because with audio it's quite easy to slip out of focus if you don't fully understand what you're listening to. I love the first part of the book and I love the end. There are bits in the middle that lose me a bit, but the end does make up for it. So yeah, that's a solid, good read. Hi guys, it's Sunday morning and I didn't get around to filming my wrap up last night, so I'm leaving it quite late because this video should be going up in a few hours. I finished The Devil Makes 3 by Tori Bovalino last night. I don't think I have it in here. It was okay. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 and I just didn't feel like it went anywhere. I mean, obviously it did because there's the devil and there were some murders, but it never really felt like it matched the tension or the atmosphere. I was just kind of waiting for something more to happen and then nothing did. So it was a bit of a letdown, and there were some really big moments that weren't treated as big as they should be. Like when the protagonist is having to kill people that she knows. And like that's a big traumatic experience. She's cutting their heads off and just does it, and there's not much thinking about it. There's not much like talking about it afterwards, which I thought was quite weird. So that took me out of it a bit. And it felt really insular as well. Like, it's set in a school. I think it was during the summer holidays. But still, there's like no one around. So it feels like it's just these two characters. And we don't really get to know the side characters very well. So that was also a bit of a letdown. So yeah, I thought it was going to be a 4. Ended up a 3. Not the biggest loss in the world, but still a bit disappointing. I couldn't sleep last night, so I started the audiobook of My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, which isn't on my TBR for this month, but because it's audio, I figured that's okay, because I can read it when I wouldn't be able to read anything else anyway, so when I'm driving or trying to sleep. I'm about a third of the way through. It's really good so far. Quite gross. The descriptions of how disgusting Gretchen is are quite off-putting, but yeah, enjoying that one so far. And I've just started, I don't know where I've put it. Oh, I'm sitting on it. The Extraordinaries by Tj Cloon. This is on my September TBR for, I can't remember which prompt. Oh, it's a 5-star prediction for Magical Readathon, so hopefully this one won't let me down. I've only just started. I'm like 30 pages in, so I don't really have an opinion yet, although the protagonist is queer and neurodivergent, so that's very exciting, because I very rarely get to see that both in one protagonist. So I really hope it's going to be good. I have high hopes based on what other people have said, and I love the cover. And this is the American version, which I specifically got because the cover is reversible. So this is the fan fiction version of the cover, and you can wrap the book in it. So this is the fan fiction that the protagonist Nick Bell writes of the superheroes in the book. So that's just a really cool little touch. I wish more books did things like that. Okay, I think that's going to have to be it for this reading vlog, seeing as I now need to edit the last few clips of this video and put it all together and get it uploaded. I've had quite a decent reading week, I think. I've finished 5 books for bookoplathon and Magical Readathon. So I think there are 18 or 19 on my list. I did have to roll again to get Tigers on there, and I've started My Best Friend's Exorcism, which wasn't on there. So I think that takes me to 19 books that I've got to read this month. So I'm on track with 5 down and 5 days in, and I plan to finish at least one of the ones I've started today, so either My Best Friend's Exorcism or The Extraordinaries. Maybe even both of them, I'm not sure. I think that's quite a lot of reading. This is quite chunky. It's only 400 pages, but the writing's quite small, which always puts me off a bit. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish that today, which means it's probably going to take me another couple of days, and you'll be seeing it halfway through next week's reading vlog. But yeah, not too bad a week, and I've still got a few more days off work, so plenty more time to get ahead with my readathons. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy my videos, it means the world to me if you could like and comment and subscribe for more. I'll be posting weekly reading vlogs every Sunday and new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'll see you there.